those green beans? Absolutely delicious. Chock full of vitamins and minerals. But don't worry, we're going to replace them vitamins and minerals with good old-fashioned southern flavor. The humble green bean is one of the most widely consumed vegetables in the entire world. Unfortunately, a great big percentage of that is going to end up tasting terrible. Now, most people just going to open up a can of green beans, throw them in the pot, warm them up, and be like, here you go. Glad you ain't my mama. You wonder why them kids don't want to eat them green beans? It reminded me of the time I went to a potluck, and my assignment was to bring green beans. So, I'm talking it up with another one of the participants, and she was amazed at how her son, who never ate green beans, ate a whole plate of green beans. The ones I bought. She said, I can't believe that he ate a whole plate of green beans. I said, I can't believe that you expect him to eat them nasty ones you've been cranking out. The moral of the story is, if you don't want to eat no nasty green beans like that little boy was so unfairly subjected to, then get ready. I'm going to show you how to do green beans the right way. Now for a little disclaimer, this ain't going to be no healthy steamed green beans or nothing like that. So if that's what you're looking for, then you're going to need to find another section of the internet. You can make the same recipe if you want to use frozen or fresh green beans. You just need to make sure that you add your own liquid using some sort of stock. You know, when it comes to the green bean, you basically got two commercially available options. You got the Kentucky Wonder, which is kind of flat, which is the quintessential southern green bean. It's the one I grew up with. But I don't know what's going on at the factory. The machine need to be recalibrated or something, because every time I get a can of them Kentucky Wonders now, they full of strings, got vines in them and stuff. Like eating a sewing kit. So now I use the Blue Lake, which is actually a more tender green bean anyway and don't take long to cook. Go ahead and open up both cans of green beans, but we're only going to be using one can to get started because we want to layer the flavors. Now it's up to you, but I ain't pouring out none of the liquor. We're going to keep it in there because that's some flavor, and then I already done paid for that and I ain't pouring it down the sink. Now you want to use at least a medium-sized onion. If you got a bigger one, that's even better. Go ahead and give them a rough chop. I don't like my vegetables chopped too small because when you do that, it makes the onions almost like disappear into the green beans. But if you got somebody that's real picky and you got to chop them up real small, you got to do what you got to do. Go ahead and put half these rough chopped onions into the green beans and save the rest for a little bit later. You always got to make sure you put onions in your green beans because they're going to add a savoriness from the glutamate that's present in the onions. If you ain't got onions, you can use onion powder, granulated onion. Both of them work too. And now it's time for the butter. You want to cut your butter up and put half of it in there. This part of my two-fat theory for green beans basically boils down to two fats is better than one, as long as one of them is butter. Now I mean real butter. The kind that come from cows, not margarine. Real butter got milk, cream, and salt. Margarine got whatever this is in it. Stay away from it. Use real butter. Alright, so we got our butter in here, and you want to hit it with a couple dashes of liquid smoke. Now I use the Hickory liquid smoke, but I don't really think it make a difference because if you look on the back, it actually says made with mesquite too. Go ahead and put in 1 heaping tablespoon of Lowry season salt. Now this is going to be one of the best season salts you ever going to use because this is the one I grew up with back home in Kentucky. Now you ain't got to be shy here unless you got like heart problems or something. Because Lowry's got to be in these green beans because it's the official salt of down south. Only need to add some garlic because you know garlic make everything taste way better. We got to build our second layer. So basically, we just repeat everything that we had just did a second time. And the reason why we do that is we want to build our flavor in layers. And then we're going to need to add our last ingredient. Now the last ingredient is a tablespoon of good old-fashioned lard. Yep, lard is the second fat. Now I like to do this instead of having to keep smoked meats on hands. Plus, I can use the lard for other things like frying chicken, etc. If you can't eat pork, 1, I feel sorry for you because pork is absolutely wonderful. 2, you can use rendered beef fat or chicken fat. So next time you brown up some hamburger before you salt it up, go ahead and melt down some of that fat and pour it off. And you can put that in the freezer or the refrigerator and you can use it for your green beans. Now you want to make sure that you got everything mixed up well. It's going to look kind of ugly at first, but as it cooks down, the butter and the fat, they all going to melt. And then the water's going to take on that beautiful red tint. That'll come from the Lowry's. And that's how you know everything going to be right. If your green beans ain't got that red tint, they probably don't taste like that. Woo, we got some green beans there. Them some good green beans. It's going to be some mighty fine eating. Let's see what we got. Them things. Look at that. Them some green beans. That's what I'm talking about. Green beans, Southern style. Now these some green beans, boy. Somebody mama gonna get slapped. Remember, folks, if your kids don't eat vegetables, particularly green beans, it's the ones you make is nasty. If you found value in this video and eat delicious green beans, do me a favor. Watch the next video. Appreciate it.